breaking news as Howie Roseman does it again. Howie Roseman strikes again, and the Philadelphia Eagles have made our dreams come true. The Birds are assigning linebacker Devin White to a one-year contract. And finally, Philadelphia finally has legitimate talent at the linebacker spot for the first time since TJ Edwards. And before that, for the first time since Jeremiah Trotter. This is an organization that has not prioritized this position. They haven't invested in it. And now Devin White has so much potential. If he lives up to it, this could be a great deal for Philadelphia. Adam Schefter, ESPN NFL Insider, as all of us know, breaking the news just moments ago on this Thursday evening that former Buccaneers linebacker Devin White signing a one-year deal worth up to $7.5 million with the Eagles. And I know everybody out there has said, Devin White, one of the most overrated players in football. Devin White isn't that good. I'm just happy here that Howie Roseman is finally investing in the linebacker position. The middle area of the field got consistently gashed last year. It was a gaping hole on this defense. It was a massive weakness, and because of that, other teams were exposing the Eagles' poorest linebacker play. That's not to say that Zach Cunningham was serviceable, but outside of that, and with the overall ability, it doesn't even come close to the ability that Devin White brings you in between the lines every time that you put on the shoulder pads, you tie up your cleats, and you put on the helmet. If Devin White plays up to how he can play, which is at a second-team All-Pro level, which is what we saw in 2020, his sophomore campaign when he broke out, this deal could be a steal. A lot to get to, plenty of thoughts here, but first, this is why you subscribe to the channel. We've gone live every single day on Eagles Now. We've talked about every single move, and we're burning the oil here. Supposed to be home, done work. But Devin White signs with the Birds. We got to break it down. Go Birds, hit that sub button, and let me know what you're thinking about this move down in the comment section. Now, earlier today, I had said, because I've been the captain of the ship in leading the charge for the Eagles to sign Devin White, wanted to get traded, wanted a contract extension. He played under that fifth-year option last year, dealt with a couple of injuries to his groin, and elsewhere on his body, was a little bit banged up. He had sulked a little bit, according to some sources that I talked to at the NFL Combine, because I'm fascinated by the player. He got benched in the playoffs, but TFL machine, he can get after the quarterback, and is so fast in coverage where if he does have bad instincts and he has some lapses, he can make up for that with the athleticism. And why I wanted White with the Eagles, blazing fast with physical traits. Ran a 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine at 237 pounds. That's what the Eagles are getting here. Vic Fangio, Eagles defensive coordinator, coached the linebacker position. Early in his coaching progression, he has developed the linebacker spot. Devin White has shown to me that he can be elite, and he's still young. He's malleable, 26 years old. You look at what he's done over his last 4 years. 2023, it was a disaster for him. There's no doubt. Injuries, bad attitude, bad body language. Todd Bowles had to bench him in the playoffs. There's no doubt that raises some question marks. But when you get drafted fifth overall as a backer out of LSU, you've been a second-team All-Pro, Super Bowl champion, leading the team in tackles on multiple occasions. You want to stay with that organization. Bucs didn't want to give him that extension. He wanted to get dealt. Bucs didn't deal him away. So because of that, naturally, sometimes human nature sets in, and he had a bad attitude because of that. But 100 tackles in 2020, 2021, 2022, and in that 2020 campaign, that's when he was the second-team All-Pro. 140 tackles, 15 TFLs, 9 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Do yourselves a favor and look back at how he balled out in that playoff run for Tampa Bay. You turn on the tape, you watch those games. 45 was all over the place. And if we want to talk about the bad attitude, what have you, he had the C on his chest. He was a captain. So at moments during his Buccaneers tenure, he gained the respect and admiration from his teammates enough for them to name him a team captain. Coverage stats last year, also not that good when you look at the numbers here, allowing a completion percentage of 71.1, only gave up 1 touchdown in coverage, so that's not bad. 6 PBUs, 2 picks, quarterback rating of 82.3. Furthermore, here are the Pro Football Focus grades over the last 4 years. And when he was that second-team All-Pro in 2020, he didn't grade out all that well, right? 43.4 overall grade, 41 against the run, 85.9 pass rush, and sub-40 on the coverage grades. And year by year, he has not been a highly graded Pro Football Focus player. And I know that I oftentimes allude to and reference some of the PFF numbers here on the show, but it's not always an indication of a player's impact on a team. And if the Eagles' defensive line can live up to expectations and you shore up some spots in the secondary, I think Darius Slay is still good. You got to figure out slot nickels. James Bradbury going to be back. I love the addition of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He can help you at slot nickel. You're just becoming a more sound football unit at all 3 levels of the field. The pedigree is clearly there. The athleticism is clearly there. And the chops are there too. We talk about the All-Pro. He was a Pro Bowler the following year and then a Super Bowl champion as well. And going back to what I had heard and talking with some people at the NFL Scouting Combine, wanted that trade, wanted the extension. He didn't get either. He suffered some injuries, nothing really overly serious, and he was sulking. He was unhappy with no deal. But now you pair him up with Vic Fangio. And if Devin White, on a prove-it deal at 26 years old, wants to revitalize and revive his football career, he gets to do it with one of the best defensive minds that this generation of football has produced and seen, because the fingerprints of Vic Fangio's defense are littered across the entire NFL. He does it with an organization that finally is prioritizing the linebacker spot, a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, and a city that has had to witness bad linebacker play but loves solid linebacker play. Jeremiah Trotter, Seth Joyner, others. This is why people are pumped up about this. And the athletic traits that I was alluding to a little bit earlier, when you are as big as Devin White is, 237, yet you are running a 4.42 40-yard dash, do yourselves a favor. Sometimes when you watch these games or when you watch these games prior, don't even just look at the football. Just look at Devin White play. Buccaneers instance, obviously he's rocking the 45. We'll see what he wears to Philadelphia. Watch him play and how he flies around with his hair on fire, not afraid to lay the boom. And these relative athletic scores, very popular in the pre-draft process at the NFL Combine to judge and measure how good these players are. Ranks these athletes on a scale of 1 to 10. He got a 9.32 grade. Very, very good. 6 foot, so he's not the tallest, but I can live with that. 237, bench press, 22 reps of 225. That's in the yellow. It's not great, right? But the vertical, elite. That means that he's explosive. The 40-yard dash, 20-yard split, 10-yard split, all very good. The shuttle, also very good. And that short area quickness, the reaction time is important for linebackers to be able to display and utilize when they're on the field. So again, a reason why I'm excited here, the value. It's a 1-year deal up to $7.5 million. And this is such an upgrade from what the Eagles trotted out at the linebacker position last year, because when they went up against creative offenses, San Francisco, Buffalo, other good offenses in the NFL, those offensive minds, whether they be OCs, head coaches, they knew that the Eagles were susceptible to giving up big plays over the middle of the field because they had nobody there. And now in the middle area of the field, Devin White, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, maybe you bring back Zach Cunningham on an affordable deal. You target linebacker in the first or second round. They do have a top 30 visit set with Edgerrin Cooper. That could be dangerous. He's blazing fast at a Texas A&M. Howie Roseman, one thing that he will do, year in, year out, offseason in, offseason out, always be aggressive, trying to bulk up the roster, trying to improve the football team. That's all that you can ask for as a fan. So grade the Eagles, free agency period. Just put out grades just minutes before this news broke. You can go back and look at it. The grade probably going to remain the same because it was a high grade, and now Devin White makes me even more excited. ABC, dear F. Shout out to producer Chip for crushing it all week. Shout out to all of you for supporting the show.